Corruption affects everyone, irrespective of tribe, religion, status, or gender. Do not be left out in the quest for a corrupt-free Nigeria. Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the program, The Eagle. My name is Aisha Gambari.
And I am Aisha Mohammed, thanking you for keeping a date with us as we bring you a recap of activities within and outside the EFCC.
On the program today, the Intergovernmental Action Against Money Laundering (GIABA) in West Africa has pledged support for efforts by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) and the Nigerian government in ensuring the lifting of the suspension of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit from the Edmond Group in the shortest time possible. The Director General of GIABA, Adama Coulibaly, made the pledge when he led a delegation on a courtesy visit to the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. Zainab Sani Ahmed has more details.
While commending the EFCC for championing the anti-corruption crusade in Nigeria, Coulibaly said that the agency's achievements were not only for the country but for the African continent. He assured the EFCC of GIABA's support in its effort of fighting corruption in Nigeria, saying the Commission was a key player to GIABA, and if the suspension of the NFIU from the Egmont Group is not lifted early, it will have a negative impact not only on Nigeria but the West African region. He added that GIABA has concluded plans to host GIABA plenary in Nigeria between November 13th and 19, 2017.
Particulièrement la fierté des institutions qui ont en charge la promotion des normes de bonne gouvernance.
So he's here to pay a courtesy call on you and commend you for your achievements and the work you have been doing. So he's very proud, not only for Nigeria, because the achievements are very important, but only for our West African zone, because it is a tremendous testimony of what anti-graft agencies have been conducting in the region.
À travers la cellule de renseignement financier. Également, le soutien que l'institution qu'il dirige apporte à cette cellule et, comme l'a dit le docteur Boulou, au niveau de toute la région, l'appui que le Nigeria apporte aux autres pays en tant que pays mentor.
So, the host of GIABA plenary, the planned host of GIABA plenary in Nigeria is a recognition of Nigeria's support to GIABA and other Anglophone member countries, because you are aware that the NFIU is a sponsor and mentor of the other Anglophone member countries, and this recognition is only for Nigerian authorities for the support they have been giving to the NFIU in its daily work.
In his remarks, Magu noted that the suspension of the NFIU from the Egmont Group was based on misinformation by those who are hell-bent on rendering the EFCC handicapped, which he described as a case of corruption fighting back. He said certain individuals with political interests are behind the NFIU's crisis because they want to destroy the achievement recorded by the EFCC. Magu described a frantic move by the legislature to take the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit (NFIU) out of the EFCC as suspicious and a move born out of an ulterior motive. He, however, stressed that the EFCC was not at loggerheads with the NFIU.
I think there is a kind of misinformation at the Edmond Group level, because what is happening now is just corruption fighting back. Corrupt element in my country had penetrated the Edmond Group at the Edmond Group level, I don't know whether they have come to Giaba. and the same group have also penetrated the Financial Action Task Force. I don't know whether you are at your level, you'll be able to sensitize the sensitivity of the corruption fighting back.
He further noted that the African continent should consider the establishment of an Association of African Financial Intelligence Units.
I'm very conversant with the workings of the NFIU, with the workings of the Giaba. And we look up to Giaba as a senior brother. Yes, senior brother coordinating all the activities of the FIU. In fact, in addition to having Java, I want to suggest that we should have an umbrella of the FIU in West Africa. An umbrella body, so that we can take a common stand at the Edmond Group levels.
The Benin Zonal Office of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has arrested 4 persons accused of obtaining money by false pretense. The suspects were said to have defrauded unsuspecting members of the public. Rolake Odofin Jolayemi completes the story.
Before, now you dey lie. How do I know you dey lie? With Allah, they tell you to go ask my former landlord. Now he approach me. Now he go connect me, give this man. I don't know the when people ask him for this Igbo man, then I push me like my former house so that I get account. I see what is the account do? Is make I give an account. See what is the account for business. Now he introduce me to this man. Now I don't know.
Okay.
They call me to
The suspects, which include Michael Agun, Osai Kyunwan Monday, Vincent Odia, and Chibuike Ugbuna, were arrested on September 25, 2017 in Benin City, sequel to a petition by a complainant alleging that sometime in May 2017, he got a call from one Chris Amadi, who claimed that he knew him during his National Youth Service year. The petitioner said Amadi informed him that he worked at the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Edo State, before being transferred to Mina, Niger State, and that while he was in Edo State, he transacted businesses with one Alaji with whom he supplied cow medicine, also called cow bruma. Amadi told him that he would like to connect him with the said Alaji for good business, but asked him to call one David Adeboye, who he claimed was the manager of the company that produces the cow medicine. The petitioner further alleged that upon calling Adeboye, he sent him an account number in which he paid 490,000 naira in order to be a distributor of the cow bruma. Upon the receipt of the petition, operatives of the Commission's Benin office swung into action. During investigations, it was discovered that Amadi, whose real name is Chibuike Ugbuna, is the head of a syndicate involving Michael Agun, Osai Kyunwan, and Vincent Odia. Further investigations revealed that Odia plays the role of a dubious native doctor, parading fetish objects and charms with which they use in duping unsuspecting members of the public. During interviews by the Eagle team, the suspects displayed a blame game.
Before, now you lie. How do I know you dey lie? With Allah, they tell you to go ask my former landlord. Now he approach me. Now he go connect me, give this man. I don't know when people ask him for this Igbo man, then I push me like my former house so that I get account. I see what is the account do? Is make I give an account. See what is the account for business. Now introduce me to this man. Now I don't know.
Okay.
They call me to.
The suspects will be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded. Rolake Odofin Jolayemi, reporting for the Eagle.
Corruption is a cankerworm, na cankerworm. I say na cankerworm, na cankerworm. Corruption don't finish our country. Nigeria women rise up and come together, oh yeah.
Every woman come out, but we fight corruption together, oh. Every woman fall out, but we kill corruption together, oh.
Them they thief our money, send them obodo yibo. Children they suffer every day, better school in no day. Nigeria women come, oh, women from every sector, make we fight corruption, we won't kill our country. Them go collect money for light, chop the money, light we no see. Good road and good health and call, we no see. I said na cankerworm, oh, na cankerworm, oh.
Join the EFCC in its crusade to rid Nigeria of corruption. Niger
Now we all know.
Members of the public are hereby advised to be wary of dealing with unknown persons. Be vigilant as fraudsters employ various tricks to deceive their victims. Report any suspicious move to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission via info@efccnigeria.org or by calling any of the numbers showing on the screen. From that report, we move to the court update segment. On this segment, Rolake Odofin Jolayemi again will bring you a recap of our major court cases ongoing before various courts across the country. Over to you, Rolake.
Justice Okon Abang of the Federal High Court Abuja has adjourned the trial of Murtala Nyako, a former Adamawa State Governor, to October 26, 2017. Nyako is being prosecuted along with his son, Senator Abdulaziz Nyako, Abubakar Aliyu, and Zulkifik Abba by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on a 37-count charge of conspiracy, stealing, abuse of office, and money laundering to the tune of 29 billion naira. They are alleged to have used 5 companies: Blue Opal Limited, Sabora Farms and Extension Limited, Pagoda Fortunes Limited, Tower Assets Management Limited, and Crust Energy Limited for the illegal diversion of the funds. The prosecution, led by Rotimi Jacobs, SAN, was to present its 15th witness on September 28, 2017. The witness, Augustina Wadamia, Accountant General of Adamawa State, was in court, but the proceedings could not go on as expected. The defense team, led by Yakubu C. Mikiel, SAN, had protested that the witness was never listed as one of the witnesses before the court. Jacobs, while citing Section 245 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 and Sections 218 and 219 of the Evidence Act, argued that a subpoenaed witness is a witness of the law who is merely invited to the court to produce documents and give evidence. He added that a subpoenaed witness has custody of his or her documents and it is just to tender the documents. Mekiao, however, argued that the prosecution ought to have provided the defense team with materials which they intend to put before the court, inclusive of the documents and statements of the witness taken by the EFCC. Justice Abang, after listening to the arguments, instructed the prosecution to serve on the defense copies of the documents the subpoenaed witness is to tender, inclusive of her statement to the EFCC. The judge held that his ruling relied on Section 36, subsection 6b of the 1999 Constitution, which states that every person who is charged with a criminal offense shall be entitled to adequate time to prepare for its defense. Still on the trial of former state governors, the trial of Senator Danjuma Goji, a former governor of Gombe State, on charges bordering on conspiracy and money laundering, continued on September 26, 2017, with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, presenting 4 more witnesses who testified as the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th witnesses. Goje is standing trial along with Aliyu El Nafati, SM Dukuru, and Sabo Muhammad Tumu before Justice Babatunde Quadri of the Federal High Court sitting in Jos Plateau State for allegedly embezzling state funds. They are alleged to have engaged in financial impropriety, including the contract of food supply to the state government house during Goje's tenure, and loan facilities obtained from banks. Prosecution counsel Wahab Shitu, through the 15th witness, Adamu Mohammed Misao, Assistant Director, Finance and Account, Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, tendered several documents to prove its case against them. Documents tendered included the certified true copy of the March 2006 federal government's approved guidelines for accessing and utilization of the federal government Universal Basic Education Intervention Fund and the certified true copy of the Federal Ministry of Education circular dated September 9, 2008, relating to the disbursement formula of the federal government's 2% Consolidated Revenue Fund as intervention to the UBE program. Misao read to the court conditions stipulated in the document required for accessing the UBE matching grant by states and told the court that he was in charge of disbursement of state funds. Under cross-examination, Misao noted that the supply of dictionaries was not covered by the guidelines. He further told the court that according to the guidelines, SUBEP must establish a due process committee which must include the chairman of the board, board secretary, director of planning, research and statistics, Director of Finance, UBEC representative, and procurement officer as members. Testifying as a 16th prosecution witness, Saliu Sambo, Director of Admin and Finance in the state, gave evidence as regards details of food supply from 2003 to 2011 under Goje's administration. The prosecution, through the witness, made references to Exhibits AAA1 to AAA6 and BBB1 to BBB2, which confirmed evidence of payments with respect to food supplied to the State Government House shown in another document tendered in evidence and admitted as Exhibits TCC. Sambo confirmed that money was paid to the contractor engaged to supply food to the Government House, who happened to be the cousin to Goje. Mohammed Balbaya, cashier to the Government House, who testified as the 17th witness, confirmed the amount paid to the food contractor. The statement by Balbaya, in which he confirmed his testimony during the interrogation, was tendered in evidence and admitted by the court. Justice Quadri also admitted as Exhibit AAAA2 Guidelines for Commercial Agricultural Credit Scheme, issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria and Federal Government of Nigeria, which was tendered in evidence through Yetunde Ofili, Principal Manager, Development Finance Department of Central Bank of Nigeria, who testified as the 18th witness. Ofili also confirmed payment of 1 billion naira to the state during Goje's administration. Justice Quadri has adjourned further proceedings to November 20th and 21st, 2017. Rolake Odofin Jolaimi, reporting for The Eagle.
Still on court matters, a prosecuting witness in the ongoing trial of a former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, has told Justice Muhammad Aikawa of the Federal High Court sitting in Ikoyi, Lagos, how he was paid the sum of 30 million naira for a printing job facilitated by the former minister during the 2015 general election. Zainab Sana Ahmad is standing by with more details.
Fani-Kayode is standing trial alongside a former Minister of State for Finance, Senator Ninadi Usman, Benjuma Yusuf and a company, Joint Trust Dimensions Limited, on a 17-count charge bordering on money laundering to the tune of about 5 billion naira. At the sitting, Idou Olusegun, who is the first prosecution witness, told the court that he was contracted to print posters and flyers for the People's Democratic Party (PDP) campaign organization of former President Goodluck Jonathan in the 2015 general election. The witness also told the court he was awarded a contract based on a referral from a man simply identified as Adedayo, who introduced him to one Aderemi Ajidaho, a member of former President Goodluck campaign organization headed by Fani-Kayode. Olusegun further told the court that he was later introduced to one Oke, who paid him the sum of 30 million naira in 2 installments of 6 million naira and 24 million naira for the job. While cross-examining the witness, counsel to Fani-Kayode, Norison Quakers, SAN, told the court that the witness wrote 2 statements, one in the EFCC office and another to the court, which he said were contradictory. Though Quakers sought to tender in evidence one of the statements written by the PW1, the prosecution counsel, Rotimi Oyedepo, objected to its admissibility. The prosecution counsel insisted that Quakers must emphatically and specifically point out the contradictions in the 2 statements in accordance with the provisions of the law and also draw the attention of the witness to those contradictions in the 2 statements before they can be admitted in evidence. Oyedepo therefore urged the court to discontinue the argument of the counsel to Fani-Kayode. Also, the second prosecution witness, Teslim Ajuo, an employee of Zenith Bank PLC, told the court how he received a letter from EFCC requesting for the account opening documents, certificate of identification and statement of account of Joint Trust Dimension Limited. Ajuo, who works as compliance officer with the bank, told the court that he later sent the documents duly signed by him to the EFCC as requested. However, when the prosecution counsel sought to tender the documents in evidence, counsel to the defendants objected to their admissibility. Counsel to the first defendant, Ferdinand Obi, SAN, told the court the documents were not in his possession and that he would want to address the court from the documents. He further told the court that the documents were purportedly printed from Zenith Bank PLC and that they were neither signed nor dated. He therefore urged the court to reject the documents and mark them as rejected. After much argument between counsels, the prosecution withdrew the documents. Justice Aikawa adjourned the matter to November 20th, 21st and 22nd, 2017 for continuation of trial. Zainab Sani Ahmed reporting for the Eagle.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Glad to know you're still there. We move to the conviction segment as the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, secured the conviction of one Ojo Tomombo Uwaponye before Justice Mohammed Yahaya of the Kano State High Court sitting in Gezawa. Please stay tuned for this and other reports on conviction with Zainab Sani Ahmed.
The convict fraudulently obtained the sum of 100,000 naira from the account of one Jummai Rukaya Muhammad through the bank account of his girlfriend. Acting on the guise that he's a staff of Guarantee Trust Bank, he sent fraudulent SMS to the complainant, informing her that her account had a problem and that she should contact her bank. She ended up contacting the convict. After his arrest in 2017, further investigation revealed that the convict was coordinator of a crime syndicate in 4 countries: Ghana, Malaysia, Australia, and United Kingdom. The accused person specializes in hacking the account of potential victims, harvesting and transferring their financial information to accomplices in the aforementioned countries. Upon his arraignment, he pleaded not guilty. But when the case came up on September 27, 2017, the convict dramatically changed his plea to an amended 1-count charge of cheating, contrary to Section 320 of the Penal Code law and punishable under Section 322 of the same law. In view of his new plea, prosecution counsel Musa Isa asked the court to convict him. Consequently, Justice Yahaya convicted Ojo Tomobo and sentenced him to 2 years imprisonment with option of 200,000 naira. Also convicted is Professor Benjamin Adefemi Ogumbo Dede, a former Director General, Institute of Agricultural Resources and Training in Ibadan, Oyo State, before Justice Natalia Ayo Emmanuel of the Federal High Court sitting in Ibadan, Oyo State. Ogumbo Dede had been prosecuted alongside the trio of Zachios, Tejumola, Adenose Clement, and Jelakun Omotojuo on a 17-count charge bordering on conspiracy, misappropriation and diversion of funds to the tune of about 200 million naira. Trouble started for the convicts following receipts of a petition dated December 17, 2012, written by the Academic Staff Union of the institution by the Commission. The petitioners had alleged that Ogumbo Dede falsely claimed to have used the sum of 150 million naira to pay hazard allowance to the members of staff of the institution in December 2013. It was also alleged that Ogumbo Dede claimed to have used the sum of 50 million naira to harvest crops. However, investigation revealed that he actually spent 800,000 naira to harvest the crops. The convicts had all pleaded not guilty to the charge when they were arraigned on June 16, 2014, thereby setting the stage for their trial. In the course of the trial, the prosecution counsel had presented 15 witnesses and tendered relevant documents which were all admitted in evidence. Also, in 2016, 10 other accused persons in the matter had pleaded guilty to the charge and subsequently entered into a plea bargain arrangement with the Commission. Delivering his judgment, Justice Ayo Emmanuel said the prosecution had proved its case beyond any reasonable doubt. He therefore convicted and sentenced the first and second accused persons to 40 years imprisonment without an option of fine. The third accused was sentenced to 4 years imprisonment without an option of fine. The sentences are to run concurrently. Zainab Sani Ahmed reporting for the Eagle.
That's all we have for you on the program today. Please join us next week and on same station for another interesting recap of activities within the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. To leave a comment, please log on to our social media portal at Official EFCC across all the social media networks. I remain yours sincerely, Aisha Gambari. God bless Nigeria.
And I am Aisha Muhammad. Support the EFCC for a corrupt-free Nigeria. Thank you for watching and God bless Nigeria.